Albeit a warm night, it's just another Tuesday night in paradise. Downtown Phoenix, Arizona, the Atlanta Braves have come to town on draft day number 2, where young men years back out of high school in Houston, out of high school in Florida, had their careers begin. Now these gentlemen have made it to the big leagues, and they go toe-to-toe. We'll get to know those drafted in draft day number 2, but most importantly, the Diamondbacks looking to make it a very solid homestand. Hello there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. My name is Darren Sutton. You know him. He's Mark Grace, 24th round pick?
24th round pick. Way up in the 24th round.
They did a nice job with you. We'll talk a little bit more about a first baseman the Diamondbacks took in the 26th round who, well, we'll see. We'll see. I know you look forward to talking about him. Let's talk about a couple of guys in there last night that started to get going offensively. Talking about at the top of the order, Kelly Johnson, Connor Jackson. The funny thing is, they had done nothing against Derek Lowe, and look what they did last night.
And that's what I love about these two guys. They know that they had zero success off of Derek Lowe coming into last night, but they did not sit on the bench. They didn't want to be watching the ball game. They wanted to be part of the ball game. And what they did, Darren, was set a tone in the first inning. Kelly Johnson with a base hit, Connor Jackson with a base hit. They scored 2 runs, and they went on to bury the Atlanta Braves after that.
And it was a fun ball game to watch. Again, these Diamondbacks have won 3 of 4 after an 0-9 road trip. And on that 0-9 road trip, the final game of the trip may have been the most frustrating. You see, Edwin Jackson threw 9 shutout innings, dominating. He also had some words for his teammates along the way throughout those struggles. He's been backing it up. Let's talk about the weapons first that he uses to go out to the mound, the pitches. And I think, Gracie, we will both agree it's the fastballs and the slider, the 2 and the 4-seam fastball and the slider. Those are the most important.
I think really right now, and that's what's making him so good, his last 6 starts, Darren, with an ERA of 3.3, and that is he's simplifying things. He's not throwing all the pitches. He's throwing his best pitches, and that is the good 2-seam and 4-seam fastball and the slider, and he has really pitched inside as well. I know you like that, and it's made him a lot more effective.
Certainly fun to see a pitcher pitch inside, keep guys moving their feet, and certainly glad to have you with us tonight. Draft date number 2, a report. Who is that first baseman picked in the 26th round? And will he shoot to the big leagues like my broadcast partner? by Colorado Tourism. Start planning your Colorado summer adventure today at colorado.com, and by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on.
And we welcome you back to Chase Field on this Tuesday night, game 2 of a 4-game set between the Diamondbacks and the Braves. It's also day number 2 of the Major League Baseball draft. And so, well, we're showing you Major League Baseball tonight. How about those on their road here to Chase Field? And the Diamondbacks yesterday took the first-round pick, who was a pitcher. And this is a pitching-heavy draft. And so guess what? The first 6 picks, all pitchers. Barrett Laux yesterday for Texas A&M. I talked to Director of Scouting Tom Allison today, and he talked about the checklist that this organization has on what they think Major League pitchers should have, both physically and mentally. And so these guys, well, many of them big, strong right-handers. Cody Wheeler, a left-handed pitcher. Of the 30 players selected today, because they did go 30 rounds today, 24 collegiate players and 18 of them pitchers. And so J.R. Bradley comes from out of high school, but Nitro High School in West Virginia, almost like a college program, as Allison spoke about it. They've won 3 of 4 state championships the last 4 years. Robbie Rowland, he's a 6'6" kid that has a dad with bloodlines in Major League Baseball. More about that later on, but coming up, first pitch, and Stephen Drew, well, he was a high pick for the Arizona Diamondbacks a few years back. He had 4 runs batted in last night. What will he do tonight against the Braves?
Hernandez, Paul Schreiber are men in black this evening. The Diamondbacks going head-to-head with Bobby Cox, the future Hall of Fame manager of the Atlanta Braves, the visitors tonight. Nearly 2,100 victories. Let's take a look at Bobby's starting lineup this evening. And at the top of it is Omar Infante. Then it's Jason Hayward at 20 years old. Chipper Jones. There you have it. Number 1 overall pick of the 1990 draft. Brian McCann, Droy Gloss, Eric Hinsky, Yunel Escobar. Then it's Melky Cabrera in center field. Chris Medlin is on the mound, handling the bat. All right, and here come the Arizona Diamondbacks taking the diamond. 26-year-old right-hander Edwin Jackson will grab the rock and roll here momentarily, and there he goes. Let's take a look at the defense that will work behind him this evening. With Jackson, Young, Upton in the outfield. Defense brought to you by Jaguar. Reynolds, Drew, Johnson, LaRoche on the infield, and John Hester, of late, just about every time out, has been catching Edwin Jackson. So the right-hander goes to work, and the numbers delivered by the UPS store. Last 6 starts, ERA about 3.3, as Gracie said. Last 4 starts, ERA 2.27. Love the work that he did in Los Angeles. It was essentially a shutout. Unfortunately, his team didn't score. 9 innings, no runs, 6 strikeouts. How did he do so well against those Dodgers?
Well, he's kind of followed the same path, and that is, especially early, Darren, establishing inside with the fastball. He's not hitting guys. I'm sorry, occasionally he hits a guy.
You bet.
But he's really establishing early in the game the inside part of the plate, and then after that, now that opens up that outside part of the plate that he can use that slider, and that slider's been electric the last few starts.
I mean, what a difference you can see. And obviously, you know what? Simply put, it's 2 starts on a long road trip. It's in Chicago. It's in Colorado. You can't remove them because it's part of his resume. But if you do, he's having a pretty darn good season.
I agree.
But he tries to overcome them statistically as he goes through. And he is ready to roll. It's Omar Infante, it's Jason Hayward, it's Chipper Jones. Gracie and I, glad to have you with us tonight, along with Jody, along with Todd Walsh, and Joe Borowski as well in our pre- and post-game show. I want to thank Bobby Cox again for giving up his time and a feature we've been able to share with you throughout the week. Infante to lead it off. Edwin wheels and deals. We are underway. A pitch in a bit, and 1-0 the count. Tonight, we play baseball at Chase Field as these Diamondbacks look to continue to erase what was a very, very forgettable road trip. They've done it so far at home. Pitches high, though. 2-0 the count to Infante. Omar was 2 for 5 last night and hits .352. .500 against Edwin, but .352 against all righties this year. Funny when you have that. A right-handed hitter does so well against his own side. Look out. 3-0 the count. Well, right away the question becomes, is that establishing in as Matt Williams sets his infield defense, or is that being a little bit wild?
I think that was more just missing in.
Yeah, especially 2-0. So he'll try to zone back in. Born in Germany with his father traveling the world with the Army. Grew up in Georgia. And there's a strike. 3-1 the count to Infante. Winning a series against the Rockies. And then winning the first game of this series against Atlanta. As the 3-1 is a high pop. Should be an easy put away for Connor Jackson. Under it, and it is 1 out.
Nice comeback there from Edwin Jackson. Fell behind 3-0. Came back and got Infante. He just went up and middle in. Infante had a good swing at it, but he just got under it a shade.
So now Jason Hayward. Hey, the baseball world has gotten to know him. Here's a first-round pick. And how quick can they get here, as that is strike 1. He was a first-round pick out of high school in 2007. That's how quick they can get here.
And here he is. And he has introduced himself continuously to the National League. That was a changeup there, Darren, for a strike. First off-speed pitch of the evening for Edwin.
Doesn't throw too many changeups. We'll do our best to keep an eye on all of his pitches tonight. About 7 out of every 100 if he throws 100 pitches in a game, but it sets up a pitch like that.
Pitching inside again.
A concerted effort. He made it clear. This young man out of Henry County High School in Georgia, Hayward, into center field and dumps it in there.
That was something off speed. I'm not sure what that was, Darren.
It didn't have the dive, to me, to be a slider. It looked like he threw him another changeup.
Let's take us a look-see. That might have been the slider, I think, Darren.
It was. You're right.
Pretty good one, too, but sometimes good pitches result in base hits. Hayward did a good job. He broke his bat, but he stayed with it, and he's just so talented, he found a way.
Well, it's been about 5 games since Chipper Jones has been able to go. Finger problems, and he had it treated. He's now back in there after a solid batting practice yesterday. What a career it has been in a year in which not driving the ball like he wants to. We're not used to saying .367 slugging percentage when talking about Chipper Jones. Shoots it the other way down the line. Boy, letting it travel deep, and it's a foul ball. Let me tell you something. I am certainly not about to start putting this guy on the porch in retirement. That'd be a big mistake to make.
not because of his lack of talent, yeah, because he's still very talented. The only thing I'm wondering about as far as his career is concerned is, will his body allow him to go out and continue to be great?
I would agree with that.
He's fought injuries really his entire career, and he's still going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, and early on in my career, able to cover him as a younger player. And I can tell you back in, let's say, 98, 99, he played hurt all the time then. I mean, really did play hurt. You know, he battled through those injuries. Fouled that one off. 0-2 the count. A .306 career batting average, 429 career homers. And just about every year of his early career, he promised us all along he would never take it for granted. He went to the postseason. And it's been a while now.
Well, he may get there, whether this is his last year or whether he wants to continue to play. He's got nothing left to prove to you or I or Brave fans, as he had a big rip at a fastball and fouled it straight back. It's just, you know, he's always had knee problems. Ever since he was a high school player, he had knee issues. Well, that's a pretty swing, isn't it? Under control, strong. But now hands bothering him, back. It's tough to play this game when you got a bad bat.
You remember when he told us, folks, last year in our sit-down interview, I love a young pitcher who is proud of his fastball. Well, that's this man out on the mound. But now 0-2, you can't really zone up a heater. Instead, it's into right field. It's a base hit. Moving off speed pitch. Dropped the hands on that one. That's all he had to do. Looked like he was ready for a fastball, sped up his bat, and just hugged the line.
That one just got right underneath the glove of Adam LaRoche. Let's take a look at what he got. He got a slider down and in. And it just got underneath the glove of LaRoche. It's going to be a base hit. As you can see, that's a play Adam will tell you he needs to make.
The two very close friends spent a lot of time together. Chipper took him under his wings in the wintertime of his first few seasons. Really looked out for Adam. But that time he wanted to send his good buddy back to the dugout and couldn't do it. Fastball inside, 1-0 the count. So for Edwin Jackson, hot water already as he faces Brian McCann. There's just one out. Edwin this year, though, has really upped the double plays. And so maybe he can get one of those 10 already this season.
Well, if he can get a ground ball off the bat of McCann, one of the slower runners in the National League, you'll certainly get it.
You're talking about 10 and 57 tries. That's, what's that, about 18-20% of the time? League average is 11%. So a man who was a fly ball pitcher younger, not so anymore. Boy, good pitch, change of pace there.
He's breaking that one out early. That was a thing of beauty to jump ahead 1-2.
Changeup averages about 86 miles an hour again. Maybe throws it 5, 6, 7% of the time is all, but he's believing in it. Against the lefties, the 1-2 is low and inside. 2-2 the count to McCann. Bryant was 1 for 3 last night. He's rolling into a mini 3-game hitting streak. Already in his first 4 seasons, been an all-star every year. The 2-2. Line drive, center field, base hit. The slider is getting teed off on so far. For whatever reason, these lefties ready for the slider. Hayward hit one, Jones hit one, McCann hits one. It's 1-0.
He went to the outside part of the plate with it. McCann just right back where it came from, a bullet. So the Braves strike early.
And now Troy Gloss. I know here locally it's easy to say former Diamondback because he is, but to most I think it's when you're speaking around the country, he's former Angel. That's where he began his career, as that one is up and in.
He was a World Series MVP. I think he was a California Angel back then, wasn't he?
I think he's been almost all of them. I think he went through all the changes.
Did he?
I had him as an Anaheim Angel, but I think he broke in as a California Angel. I think by the time he left, he was a Los Angeles Angel of Anaheim. 1-1 the count to Troy Gloss. Now you piece together memories in your mind. You think of the older guy on his way out, big kid. And then you think of the two of them. How about Tim Salmon, the older guy, and Troy Gloss, the younger guy? Two big sluggers. Tim had a nice career.
Great years.
Valley resident. And, of course, Grand Canyon man. Went to Grand Canyon University. Tim Salmon, the Kingfish.
Kingfish?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you call it? Was that the nickname you gave him?
Oh, yeah. 1-2 the count.
I called him Big Thunder.
Well, anyway, the 1-2. Fastball runs in. 2-2 the count. But Gloss looking for work. Kept looking this winter. Braves reached out to him and said, you know, if you'd like to come play first base for us, we've got a job for you. All right, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, give it a try.
And he's still learning. First, he'll be the first to admit it. As that pitch runs in, 3-2 the count.
Right now, Edwin really fighting himself. Having trouble locating the fastball, and then just about every slider's ended up on the wrong end of it, of a base hit.
Gloss had an incredible May. Was a National League Player of the Month. Remember, Kelly Johnson won it in April. Spins and looks back at all people to Chipper Jones. To me, I think indecisive when that happens.
Absolutely, that is.
So let's see if Edwin can piece that confidence back together. Ran that fastball in.
Just able to nick it foul.
You know, we talked about Jones and where he fits in historically. I mean, among switch hitters, as he stands out there in second, incredible company. Homers. I mean, there's Mickey Mantle #1, there's Eddie Murray #2, and then Chipper Jones. As you say, nothing left to prove. It's a 3-2. Got him with a fastball.
Just threw it right by the big slugger. Huge out there for Edwin Jackson.
Threw it right by him. Pretty much split the plate with it, I think.
Down Broadway, just above the knees. Looked like it might have had a little late sink to it, Darren, because Gloss was over the top of it.
Might have been a two-seamer that he throws. So now Eric Hinske. So starting to wake things up a little bit. You know, where Edwin's gotten in the most trouble is in this situation. With no one on, opponents hit 271. As Hinske takes a changeup that runs away. With runners in scoring position this year, 339. Never faced the Braves as a starting pitcher in the big leagues. An amazing 122 starts. Never faced him. Hinske to left. Jackson is there, and he puts it away. Well, he had to throw 27 pitches. It wasn't pretty, but simply put, it could have been a lot worse. Connor Jackson, Stephen Drew having a nice homestand. Justin Upton, Adam LaRoche, Mark Reynolds. Like to call him the sheriff up here in the broadcast booth.
We do.
Chris Young, John Hester, and Edwin Jackson. Christopher Allen Medlin is on the mound. He has done work as a starter. He has done work as a reliever. Overall, the work pretty good, though. 3-1 with a 2.79. The right-hander out of Southern California. And a 10th round pick back in 06 of the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, just a guy that's not going to dazzle you with 95-mile-an-hour fastballs, but he's got a little bit of everything. He's got 4 or 5 different pitches that he can throw at any time. Keeps the ball down nicely. He can be tough.
And we see the good run on the fastball. That's strike one to Kelly Johnson. Glad to have you folks with us tonight. And we trust on this Tuesday. Your week so far has been a good one. More dive, but that one misses the zone outside. Looks like a youngster. He's 24 years old. As that one sails high. A changeup there. 2-1 the count. Johnson's starting to roll again. Was quiet the end of the month of April until about 3 weeks into May as he shoots that one down the line. Toward the foul pole it goes. Off the foul pole and out of here. Did I catch a smile there on the face of Kelly Johnson? Against his old club, he homers for the second time this season. Boy, if that isn't letting the ball travel deep into your stance, I don't know what is.
That's just pure strength right there. I mean, this is almost like he shanks it. Boy, he drove through it. I mean, that's plenty up high on the pole. That one would have been way out of here. That is a long ways to hit a ball the other way. Mercy.
Connor Jackson, fastball in, fights it off in the right, sliding catch by Hayward. A Fulton Holmes home run, followed up by a fine play. By the way, another $150 to the Arizona Mountain Rescue Association and our good friends with Fulton Holmes. Wow, Kelly Johnson.
That's a hard-hitting second baseman right there.
Yeah, he's done a little while. 56 at-bats without a homer. His last one against Brandon Metters on May the 19th. And his third leadoff homer of the season. Again, we talked about the struggles through a majority of May, but Kelly, since May 22nd, hitting .310. He's got 6 doubles. He now has 12 runs scored. His on-base percentage is .420 during that time. Drew lifts that one down the line, and into the seats it goes. I'm sorry, folks, to be a fan for a minute, but that was a fun home run to watch.
It was. It was, I don't know, something, there was a little shock value to it. That it, at first I thought it was a foul ball, and then all of a sudden it hit the pole, and hey, a homer.
It's great. And so leading off the ball game again against his old club. Feels good. Kelly this year, his second home run, his 6th hit. Fooled him badly with that changeup. Drew gave up all of his power. And Infante is back to put it away. Let's listen to this home run. Had to have good sound to it.
I love the roar from the crowd right when they heard that gong sounding pole.
So now Justin, 9 home runs, 29 RBIs, fastball over the outside. It's strike one. And the last 11 games have been a battle. Justin kills it. Deep left field. That one hugs the line. Fair foul. Another one off the pole. Ding dong. The the pitch is dead. Another home run by the Diamondbacks.
I don't know if I've ever seen two poles in the same inning. But I have now.
Especially when one's the other way and the other one is cold.
That was way up on the very top of the pole.
And another Fulton Holmes home run. $150 going to the Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
All right, Darren, I'll be a fan for a second. That was kind of a fun homer, too.
All right. I think we're allowed to be fans up here on occasion. Appreciate those two standing together for our obligatory hero shot after the home runs. It was great, too, because, you know, there's a couple of flyouts in between, and then I'm sure A.J. said, guys, if you can come stand together, they'd like to shoot you for television.
I'm sure A.J. did tell him that. Take a listen. Well, you don't have to listen. Bong.
That one missed. 3-1 the count.
That was way up high on the pole. There wasn't but about 5-6 feet left of foul pole out there.
He crushed that ball. So 2-1 the score. LaRoche, ground ball, gobbles it up in time for the out. Not one, but two balls off that foul pole. Both home runs very unique in their own way. One young man homering against his old club and then sneaking a smile as he ran around the bases, and another one looking to get hot, maybe just did. Arizona presents D-backs baseball, brought to you by our good friends with Schumacher European, Mercedes-Benz Supercenter, Scottsdale Loop 101, DriveTheBest.com. Also by Bullpen, America's Sub Shop. Edwin Jackson goes back to work. A couple of long balls in his back pocket to support him, and he fires a strike to Escobar. We told the story yesterday about Glenn Hubbard and how much work he put in with Kelly Johnson. Justin Upton coming in right behind with a home run. Big swing off the bat of Escobar up and into the seats. That one will go. Well, Edwin, as we mentioned, in his last 4 starts, 2-1 his record. Team 2-2 should be better than that because his ERA is 2.27. Opponents against Edwin hitting just 162 against him in his last 4 starts. See where he goes here. 0-2. Is it a slider or is it a fastball? Don't dig in. No, it's a slider. Nice job, Hester, because the other thing that needs to be pointed out pretty early while the bases are still empty, that this year Jackson's 8 wild pitches, 8 lead the National League. And at some point that'll come into play tonight. He'll get a little ornery outside of that strike zone.
I like it.
Slider, nasty. That's strike 3. Escobar done.
Darren, that gives me an opportunity to tell you that voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Send the deserving players to the All-Star Game. Vote early, vote often, vote now at dbacks.com. Vote right there. I mean, right there.
That is that's a call to arms. You really had a little passion behind that.
I like those homers.
Who doesn't like homers? Melky Cabrera takes a pitch, misses out, 1-0 the count. Now that's how I like to vote.
That's right. Have you voted today? You can vote as often as you want.
My friend, I couldn't sleep last night. I voted probably 213 times, the old-fashioned punch ballots. Just kept thinking about who deserved to go. I'd vote somewhere different. The 2-0. I'll tell you, you know how it goes these days. If you're a fan of the game, you pick the position players, but you don't pick the pitcher. Otherwise, I think there's a whole bunch of people right now in the nation's capital that would be lining up to vote for one young man by the name of Stephen Strasburg this evening.
Did you hear about his evening?
I'd like for you to tell all our fans about it.
Well, Stephen Strasburg, and I would imagine, Darren, I can't remember a young man, a young athlete that has had this much hype.
That's a fair ball. Country Joe says it hugs the line, now kicks away from Justin. Let's watch it, and can't put a fork in. So Cabrera goes all the way to third. We'll talk about Stephen in a moment. First, let's walk through this play.
Well, a breaking ball down the line. And now things go a little haywire. Upton got a little too deep in there, and then the ball got by him, and then in his haste to get it in, he looks up, can't grab it. Melky Cabrera all the way to third base, and that'll go as a triple.
So infield will come in a bit. Here's the pitcher Medlin. You were speaking of Strasburg and the hype that he had to deal with.
Well, can you remember a young man or young woman that has come into their sport with more hype than this young man? I can't recently.
Especially in baseball.
Right. I can't. Even LeBron. No, I don't think even LeBron.
Squeeze was on. Boy, I tell you, with a left-handed hitter, that means Hester had a clear view of the base run. He could just pitch out. That's a gutsy call by Bobby Cox.
Boy, he got a good pitch to bunt on, too. I mean, this ball is center cut to bunt. And he fouled it. This is a guy that handles the bat pretty well. Medlin hitting over 200, coming in hitting 231. Diamondbacks bringing the infield in here, Darren. They're going to make Medlin earn his way into this RBI.
That slider is in.
But now, let me get back to Strasburg. Okay, so we agree that there's been a boatload of hype for this young man. Well, in front of a sellout crowd in Washington, D.C. against the Pittsburgh Pirates, Stephen Strasburg went 7 innings, did not walk a batter, struck out 14, and gave up 2 runs in his debut. And his team, the Washington Nationals, won 5-2.
You watched a lot of it. With your eyes, what did you see from this San Diego State alum?
Reminded me of a lot of a young Dwight Gooden.
Wow.
And a young Kerry Wood. Just everything he threw was nearly unhittable. Gave up a 2-run homer, actually. As that one's fouled off. Gave up a 2-run homer to Delwyn Young. That was it. 14 strikeouts, no walks.
What an outing. What a debut. The 14 strikeouts. It's only been bested 2 times in Major League debuts. Off the end of the bat. It's a base hit and an RBI for the pitcher Medlin. a 2-strike RBI to boot. Medlin now 4 hits this year and 2 RBIs.
Well, you can help yourself with the bat. What a difference that makes. Just fooled on an off-speed pitch. He just kind of half swings. And boy, isn't that amazing? When you actually put the ball in play, Darren, good things can happen.
Shot. Down the line it goes, and it's a foul ball. Hey, you're right. You put it in play, and if you're a pitcher especially, I mean, a gutsy move early in that count to take a roll at the squeeze. It didn't work out.
Yeah, but he fouled off a couple of pitches and just battled. I love that. Instead of just striking out, leaving that guy out there, and just put the ball in play. Boy, good things will happen. Not always, but a lot more than if you don't put it in play.
You know, I'm a big believer with regard to pitchers. If you can just strike out less than half the time, even if you're not an athlete out there with a bat in your hands, make someone make a play. And as you say, sometimes they won't be able to. Runner on the move. A hit and run.
Because he's got an athlete as a pitcher out on the base pass.
I'm liking this.
Bobby Cox going to the whip.
That is great stuff. Oh, and how about that? Geico quoted the game. Be quick, but don't hurry.
We've heard that before, haven't we?
The legend, John Wooden, who passed away last week. There is another wild pitch. We told you it would come into play. He leads the National League in that category. And one of those things where, you know, John Hester does all he can, but sliders thrown hard in the dirt out front of the plate are tough to block.
Yeah, there wasn't much Hester could do there. So now Edwin in another mess here with a runner in scoring position.
Not a solid response by Jackson, by the way, after the 2 home runs. Scuffling through this inning. It's maybe off a bit. My goodness. How in the world did that just happen? That's a base hit. It's an RBI. If he doesn't swing at it, might knock the helmet off his head. Instead, Omar Infante has 14 runs batted in this year.
There's not much you can do if you're Edwin Jackson. I mean, this pitch is somehow pulled down the line. My goodness. When you can hit that pitch, that's impressive. They're not hitting Edwin all that hard this inning, but once again, good things happen when you can put it in play.
Look at where Hester's catcher's mitt is.
My goodness.
He's reaching up over his shoulder to catch that ball. All right, they're taking care of their pitcher, as it should be. Yep. Boy, that Braves club, they get it. Grace, you always have to take care of your pitcher, by the way.
Well, they have trainers to do that for you.
And the trainer brings him a little refreshment there, as that one, he was on it right back to the screen. 3-2 the score. Young Medlin, drafted by the Braves out of Santa Ana Junior College, so he came through the same JUCO system you did. You were just a little bit further down south on I-5 at Saddleback, right?
Saddleback Junior College, that's right. Played against Santa Ana College a lot. Is it back to being called Santa Ana College? It used to be called Rancho Santiago.
Rancho Santiago. Big Bob Hamlin going through there.
Oh, remember him?
Oh, you bet I do. Fouled that one off. You know, it's fun, and I'm sure a lot of you young high school players that are watching us right now do this here in the great state of Arizona, whether it's heading out to Grand Canyon, watching college baseball, going over to ASU, a lot of the great junior college programs. Whatever the next step for you is, I always used to go watch those college players play when I was in high school.
Sure.
So much fun.
There's a lot of talented young men out there playing. There, he got the strikeout he needed.
Slider there.
That was the best slider of the night, no question, Darren.
He had gotten beat by these lefties with the slider, but they're, I guess, a little further up. This one started at the knees and then disappeared.
Nice job of blocking it up by Hester. I think you were about to say the same thing.
I still can't believe that Infante not only hit that ball, but drove in a run. 3-2 the score.
Nice change up there to the outside corner to jump ahead. He has thrown a lot of change-ups tonight, Darren. He must feel good about that one.
Far and away the most we've ever seen him throw. The only switch hitter in big league history to have a 300 average and at least 300 home runs is Chipper Jones, beaten there. And it's put away and left by Connor Jackson. But I'll tell you what, you got the 8-hitter, the 9-hitter, the leadoff hitter banging the ball around. Glad to have you back at the yard and talk about the movement there. You see John Hester with the pitching coach. Mark Reynolds getting ready to go to work. It's time for the Home Depot, doing more on defense. We go back to last night for the man we like to call the Sheriff. Pouncing on this one. Just a fabulous play. The one thing he has always shown us, even when he was a wild defender and making a lot of errors, which he doesn't anymore, no matter what, even back then, he still came in on the ball better than anyone. I mean, he was right there with the best on a play like that.
He can make the spectacular play. The athleticism, it's always going to be there.
High fly ball into right center field. That one is out of here. 3 home runs tonight. And again, they've all been unique in their own way, shape, and form. 2 of them hitting the foul pole. 1 the other way off the foul pole. This one up and over the balcony in right center field. Well, the backspin on that ball. It got another gear.
What a strong young man that is. Didn't overswing, but he knew it. I mean, look how quickly Cabrera gives up on it. That's out there with Todd Walsh and Joe Borowski where the pregame show is.
My goodness. And that's not kind of out of there. Another Fulton Holmes home run. $150 for the Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
I'd like to see him get on one of his hot streaks. That's back-to-back nights now with a home run, because that one's ground to short. I'll take this one, Darren, for the first out of the inning.
Jack Howell told us yesterday that Mark is tweaking, and yesterday there were results trying to keep the hands a little higher. As he drifts forward, sometimes the hands will come down. The one thing when he's been trying to go the other way, he's been popping up. He went the other way. He didn't pop it up.
Everything just right under control. The straight front leg and drive all the way through it. Well, when he hits it, it just makes such a loud sound, and it goes so far.
Well, and that was one thing that I was asking Jack about, because I said, we mentioned it the other night on the air, Jack. When are we going to see a few more opposite field home runs? And he said, a lot of times if those hands drop with a body drifting, you're not going to. You just won't, because
you got nothing behind it.
That's exactly
right.
right.
Straight up in the air, or it's not going to have enough oomph on it. It's going to be caught.
Those hands really never went below the belly that time. So 1-2 the count.
He destroyed it. We got us a good old-fashioned slugfest going here, Darren Sutton.
A lot of fun.
Wind's blowing out.
Now this indoor stadium as the pitch is outside. 2-2 the count.
You're right. Had a flashback to my first 13 years.
I remember that. So the right-hander rocks and fires. Change of pace. Had Hester way out front. So now Edwin Jackson. We're talking about Medlin. Scouts that found him and made him a guy that was draftable, a guy that was a prospect, compared him to Jeff Montgomery, if you folks remember.
The old closer from Kansas City.
Not too tall in stature, a big-time strike thrower, change speeds. To me, a compliment. If you folks remember Montgomery, went about his business very effectively.
He was a very good one for a lot of years. Kansas City had some pretty decent teams back then. They had guys like, well, Jeff Montgomery was closing as that one's banged up the middle. Can he get a base hit? No, Cabrera cuts him off.
Troy.
Make it look easy, Troy.
Mark Reynolds with the homer. Troy Gloss was saying yesterday it's hard to hit him out in this ballpark over that line in center field. Yeah, not for Mark. Mark Reynolds, what was he, about a 16th, 17th round draft pick out of Virginia? Not a high pick at all. So the Diamondbacks in their scouting department found themselves going through all the prospects they could find. Here's the bottom line, what we found out as you look all the way down the list. As a matter of fact, the first 9 picks, make it 8 picks by the Arizona Diamondbacks today, were all pitchers. All of them were pitchers, and it was with purpose. They wanted to draft one, then another, and if there were pitchers that in that room, in the war room, scouts believed in and liked, they picked them again. Because they had a very good year last year with position players, all youngsters, all in South Bend. Mark Big Thunder Grace. And, of course, the nickname for Barrett Laux, the young man out of Texas A&M.
No. Oh, no, please. No, that's.
Say hi, Gracie.
Well, hi, Poppy and Mimi in Georgia.
The 1-0.
But
Fly ball into center field.
It's a terrible nickname.
And that one is put away. And then they started picking some position players. Look at 301, the young man that was picked the catcher out of Lewis Clark State University, a fabulous athlete.
And a good program.
Emsley Pie, that's a matter of fact, you're right. And so that was a pick that they're very proud of. Started grabbing some seniors in that mix as well out of college. But a field that was a little bit different this year. I mean, experts will tell you it wasn't as deep. So the feeling in the room, in the war room, was let's pick guys that we like. I mean, guys that we saw play, that if someone saw him and he had a special day, since there aren't 100 top flight guys this year, pick guys you like that you can fill in your organization with. I've picked a certain guy, though, Gracie, that we're going to focus on next inning.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say right now.
Well, what do you got for me?
That's all I can say right now.
Oh, Darren, I hate it when you do it to me like that.
2-0 the count to Troy Gloss.
I can't take it anymore. What do you got for me?
Well, you're just going to have to wait. Fastball grabs the inside corner, 2-1. And then the draft rolls on tomorrow. 31 through 50 rounds. And Tom Allison,
who always does a great job.
VP of scouting for these Diamondbacks. Look at Mark Reynolds, bobbles, recovers. And a tag, you bet. Yeah, that's how you draw it up, isn't it, folks? Just an easy 5-3 ground out.
Remember that great quote from John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood? Be quick, but don't hurry. All right, well, he's got it. Now he drops it. Well, now I get in a hurry. Now I get in a hurry. I rush. I throw it over there. Fortunately, Adam LaRoche able to bail him out over there. But he had plenty of time. He could have gathered himself. So that's where John Wooden was once again right on the money. Be quick, but don't hurry.
Gloss allowed that play to happen, by the way. Not with lack of hustle, just lack of speed.
Just slow.
Yes.
I know how he feels.
He's still stunned that he dug that ball out of the dirt defensively to end the last inning. Pitches inside, 3-0 the count. Hinske, a season ticket holder for the Green Bay Packers. Wisconsinite through and through.
One of these days, he'll get over Arizona hammering them in the playoffs last year.
Our Amica Insurance hit zone for Eric Hinske.
Oh, Eric. Hang in there. Maybe next year.
The 3-1. Hot shot. Kelly Johnson on the backhand. And he fired a little bit more on the amateur draft, including a special young man in about the 26th round. Mark Grace is going to keep his eye on. Well, Gracie, we are waiting in the wings. We're taking it even a step further.
Finally.
This was a young man. Yazi Arbello drafted, a young man out of a small college, Keystone College, a Division III school, but he's a first baseman, 26th round pick. You were a 24th round pick as a first baseman. And we thank Greg Lenegro for helping to find him, but I thought we would bring him in, Greg Lenegro, and I just thought you might want to talk about a young man who probably goes in the middle rounds, plays the first sack, and they talk about his defense, and he can hit.
Well, maybe take him in the first round. That's where you get those hard-hitting first basemen. 6'4", 225. That's a big old boy. I think when I got drafted, I was like 6'2", 190 after a huge meal. Soaking wet. Well, good luck to him. Keystone State, that's got to be in Pennsylvania somewhere.
Keystone College down in Florida, Division III school.
I thought the Keystone State was Pennsylvania. Yeah. I mean, Florida all of a sudden taking other states' nicknames.
Well, that's all right, as long as the young man has a good run and makes it up here.
Well, we'll just start calling Pennsylvania the Sunshine State.
Well, you can do that probably 1 month out of the year.
Well, good for him. And that's the thing about being drafted, down in the lower rounds is, first round picks, even single digit picks, you're going to get plenty of opportunities to fail. You might get a year, maybe 2 years to maybe not play well. If you're down there in the 26th round, you better have a great year every year.
These are the bosses. The war room didn't look like that today. It looked like a lot of guys with computers out, and if I may just speak freely, some spit cups out on the table as well. Lots of cups of coffee, and they continue to work down through. The young man, the pitcher out of Arkansas, will be working in the regional.
And we're going to see the Arkansas and ASU out here this weekend.
But again, a lot of pitchers early. As we told you earlier, the first 8 picks were pitchers by these Diamondbacks. And that was with intention. 1-0 the count with 2 outs.
You look at San Diego Padres' success this year, Darren Sutton, and you see a bunch of big right-handed pitchers. All young, all hard throwers. And that looks like that's what the Diamondbacks have done in this draft. A lot of big, hard-throwing right-handers.
They wanted athletes. They wanted athletes that could turn it loose, that were big kids, as you said.
Yeah, give me some fat guys out there. I don't mind that.
Well, Tommy Allison had a great quote just talking with him behind the scenes. He said, just when you think you have drafted enough pitchers, why don't you just draft a few more?
Draft a few more. You never know.
Shot into left field, and the play is made.
Fat guys.
Gray, Stearns, Sutton, and Hugh. Named the 3 players from Arizona State to be selected first overall in the draft.
I know one.
Do you now?
Yes. Rick Monday.
And was that the first ever draft?
It might have been.
I think it might have been.
Big swing and a miss there from Yunel Escobar.
You know, Jody Jackson, with all of her ASU ties, she might be willing to venture a guess. You know, it's scary waters to swim in, just to jump in while we're having a conversation, as she well knows. Edwin Jackson, a nice play, firing in time for the out. You slow yourself down with that head first slide. So there is one away. Jody, do you have a guess, quite possibly?
I didn't. I got to be honest. I didn't quite see the question. 3 players
drafted number 1 overall out of ASU.
Now, well, I know Barry Bonds was not drafted number 1, so
Barry Bonds is Jody's guess.
No.
Yep,
he was
Barry
not.
Bonds is her guess.
That's a good guess, Jody.
As you said, jumping into scary waters. That's right.
Well,
I got the.
Good to see our
Bob
fine
Horner?
producer give you a heads up on that this was coming. Bob Horner.
Hey.
Bob
See,
Horner.
how about that?
Very good, Jody.
Former Brave.
That's right. Very good. So we've got Rick Monday, Bob Horner. And Jody also guessed Dustin Pedroia.
Good guess, Jody. Dustin Pedroia. No.
This was a lot better for you when I was doing the post-game show and couldn't just, jump in. Not that I can really jump in now.
Well, you jump on in anytime you want.
What's that?
1 and 2, the count.
What's that, Jody? Jody said Mike Devereaux.
Oh, good guess. I could barely hear her say that, too. 3-3 game.
Creative, though. Very creative.
I'm going to guess. Can I guess?
No, is it you or Jody?
How about Odubie McDowell? Darn it.
The 1-2. Got him with a slider. Nasty to Melky Cabrera. Dives down
what's
and
that,
in.
Jody? Jody's guessing Ike Davis.
He's a good ball player, though.
He's a terrific player.
I'd take him. There's a nasty slider.
Doing a good job, though, with the Mets. As is Mike Leake, who was taken, I believe, 9th overall last year, right? 9th, was it?
He is right to the big league. That one is low and inside. 1-0 the count to Chris Medlin.
Dan, what did you think of that slide into first base there by Yunel Escobar a couple of plays ago?
Didn't make much sense to me.
It really didn't. I mean,
kind of had an Eric Burns feel to it.
Oh, I love it when we can bring Eric Burns onto the show. There it is. He's out by 30 feet. Yeah. That's a good call, Darren. It's a good call. It did kind of look like old Burnsy there.
That fastball is in. 3-0 the count. I just got a text from Luis Gonzalez wants to guess.
What's his guess?
James Harden. Nice basketball.
Gonzo.
Well, I knew at some point he'd start texting in because you remember Matt Williams used to all the time.
Matt Williams all the time.
Last year, if Matt did it now, he'd be cut loose from the organization. Yeah. That one is low, ball 4. Boy, that'll frustrate you. A walk to the pitcher. After a great defensive play, there will be no messages from that man.
No, he won't be texting. But Gonzo, I'm kind of waiting for my phone to maybe light up with a text with a guess from Gonzo. And here it is. Here it is, folks. Gonzo's guessing Ken Digger Phelps.
Ooh, good one.
Oh, man, our old buddy Ken Digger wasn't the first overall pick, huh?
That pitch is away. Well, at least he guessed the right sport this time.
Yeah, that's true. Remember with Matt Williams last year, a lot of times he guessed himself.
Well, I respect him a little bit more now that he's a coach, but I'll still say he really You know, he really likes himself. The 1-0.
A good fastball there on the inside corner.
Can't tease Matty quite as bad when he's down there in uniform when I might need a soundbite from him or something.
When he's down there putting in the work and
sweating every day.
Putting in the hours, exactly.
I hate it that I have to respect him. 1-1 the count. Infante drove in a run back in the second inning, and if you weren't with us, it's hard to explain. It was a fastball up and in. And I mean way up and in. And here he goes again. It's up, not as far in, and it's a base hit. I mean, is this the epitome of a bad ball hitter?
Well, he likes the ball up, obviously.
Goodness gracious.
That's actually very nice. That's nice hitting. And this ball is up. And it's 95 miles an hour, and he just swats it the other way, keeps his hands in nicely. I mean, that's higher than high. He's able to fight it off. I mean, there's a reason, Darren, that young man's hitting 315 this year. It's because he can handle some of those pitches up there.
There were 10 ASU players drafted today overall, so we congratulate the program. Here's Jason Hayward. 3-3 game. Owen won the count.
He just looked at a fastball all the way right down Broadway. Got beat with a fastball there at 95. Edwin packing a little extra punch here with a runner in scoring position. He just rears back and challenges the big youngster. And he throws it by him. Did we have a good play over there? We must have. Yes, we did. Right in the glove there. Nicely done.
The 0-2. Fastball didn't get the inside corner. Not a bad pitch. 1-2 the count. Nice job. We talked about the wild pitches, 9 on the year to lead the National League for Hayward.
After the fastball in, he tries to go with the slider down and in. Hayward able to lay off of it. Blocked up nicely by Hester again. He's earning his keep back there tonight.
So Edmund, 6th round pick in 0-1, deals a fastball that is high. And the count is 3-2. Now both runners will be off to the races. Medlin's been on the base pads a couple of times now the last few innings. We'll see how he responds as well when he goes back to pitch. Chipper Jones waits on deck. Full count, 2 outs.
Yes!
With the fastball up and out of the zone. A little bit of draft history, and in the end, the 6th round pick, as we mentioned, of the Dodgers in 0-1 blows this 20-year-old away. Glad to have you back. Hello there, folks. As we roll on to the bottom of the fourth inning, if you're just joining us, our trivia question, a good one. AT&T trivia question.
I just got a text from Luis Gonzalez, and he guessed Jake Plummer.
Well, it's the wrong sport. But Floyd Bannister in 1976, bookended by Rick Monday and Bob Horner. Of course, dreams came true for the man called Mo with a long big league career. Now in the booth for the Dodgers on June 8th, 1965.
Boy, people forget what a great one Floyd Bannister was.
Yeah, that's a good call. Justin to lead it off. Upton homered for the 10th time, RBI number 30. Back in the first inning. And that fastball sinks over the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Upton. It's Upton, it's LaRoche, it is Reynolds. Shoots that one down the line. Trying to go the other way. This one went down the other line. Let's see what Upton has up his sleeve. 0-2 protecting. That sinking fastball. Not interested in that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. This is a 4-game series between these two. It rolls on tomorrow night. We'll have it for you. And then Thursday afternoon. Breaking ball, a curveball, dives down and away.
Good take there from Justin. That was a tough one to lay off there, and he was dying to go after it, but he laid off nicely.
We saw Ian Kennedy a moment ago. He faces Kenshin Kawakami tomorrow. Change up, strike 3. Grabbed a very small slice of that outside corner. Want to remind all of you about a good thing going on with Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning, tied in with our community spotlight. What a cool play it is. We know how tough summers can be in the great state of Arizona, so nominate a deserving family to win a new air conditioning system. Visit ChazRoberts.com/cool play. And we have had a lot of folks checking in through the Chaz Roberts website. Your generosity and your heart has been bright and shining. And so we look forward to sharing some of the good news for some deserving families here over the days and weeks to come. Folks enjoying the cool of the evening here indoors. That pitch is low. 2-1 the count.
Cotton candy stays with you a while.
Bouncing ball, tried to backhand it. He's got a shortstop behind him. That shortstop, Escobar, makes the play. And so LaRoche is erased. Mark Reynolds homered as well. And his home run the other way, up over the balcony. Couple of hits on this homestand. You know, we talked about Mark being a unique hitter with that toe tap, and as he does not show himself as a guy that you call loading his back leg.
Not
he
really,
drifts
no.
forward. So challenge with his hands. What do you do with those hands? The 1-0. 1-1 the count.
He's certainly unorthodox.
Mm-hmm. Those great interviews with Jack Howell early in spring. That one in. A breaking ball popped it up. They didn't know what to make of Mark Reynolds when he was drafted and signed. Now National League pitchers don't know what to make of him.
Welcome back to a tie ball game here at Chase Field, and we're showing you the LaRoche brothers because, well, we like Adam, he's a Diamondback, but what do you think Andy, his brother that plays for the Pirates, what do you think happened with him today that's newsworthy, Darren?
Did he get a big hit against Steven Strasburg?
He got the first hit off of Steven Strasburg. So he can, if Strasburg goes on to have a magnificent career, he can say he did just that. As Chipper Jones hits it hard to Kelly Johnson, but he's retired.
You watched it, Gracie, and your thoughts on what you saw. We'll see some of the highlights. I mean, it was sold out, standing room only. 200-plus media credentials, a worldwide audience.
Who's that breaking ball remind you of? And that fastball. That's the two-run home run, a changeup that Delwyn Young went down and got, and then the kid just took over.
Golly. Who'd you think? I'll let you think of.
That reminded me of a young Dwight Gooden. It really did.
The 0-1 is in. 1-1 the count to McCann.
I got to play behind a young Kerry Wood when he struck out 20.
Are you proud of your school tonight?
Yeah, he is a San Diego State boy. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, it's good for the program.
The 2-1 pitch. High fly ball again. A drive the other way like we saw from Johnson earlier. But this time the ballpark holds it. A lot of discussion about the when and the where for Strasburg coming to the big leagues. You spoke, I know, with Bobby Cox. I spoke with him about it about a week later. The veteran skipper told you what about what he would have happen if Strasburg was his?
He'd have had him up in when the season began. I'm a big believer in have your best players up here, especially a guy like Strasburg. Why have him down in AA and AAA winning games and dominating down there when he could be dominating at the big league level? And, you know, Washington is much improved this year. They're kind of right there still in the National League East. This young man, he's not toiling around in the minor leagues. He's picking on major leaguers. Well, they get a year of control from arbitration or whatever. Man, you've already given Steven Strasburg $20-something million. What's going to be a few more 3 years down the road?
Looks like he's selling a few tickets, by the way.
Thank you.
Jerseys, T-shirts.
Thank you. That place was rocking, and good for the Nats. They need some loving.
3 games below that entire division. No one's that far down with Washington and Florida 3 games
exactly
below.
Right.
Well, that is exactly, as Gloss draws a walk, that is exactly what the doctor ordered for that franchise.
Every 5th day, that place is going to be sold out. And, Darren, if he's pitching on the road, that place is going to be sold out. That's how much hype this kid has brought. And, boy, after what I saw today, it's all deserved. He's the real deal.
High hop, backhanded stab, and in time for the out. Hinske is erased. We share the thoughts from the nation's capital as well. Here, 3-3. 3-3 is our score. Look at that. Look at that little captain. That's awesome. By the way, choose your favorite Diamondbacks replay moment by going online to foxsportsarizona.com. Head to the homepage and check out Replay, fueled by G. At the community poll section, the fans' favorite will be replayed Friday on Miller Lite Diamondbacks Live. Gonzo's 0-1 World Series winning hit. The 6-run ninth-inning Diamondbacks comeback against the Brewers, July 3rd, 2008. Are you kidding me? I mean, I loved the come-from-behind win over the Brewers. It was a thrill. But to put it up against Gonzo's World Series winning hit? Don't mess with CY, you bet. Loving the signs. So again, as you visit the website, it'll be a tough choice. Gonzo's World Series game-winning hit, as that's a strike.
Or
the ninth-inning Diamondbacks comeback in the regular season against the Milwaukee Brewers on July 3rd, 2008. It was a 6-run inning. It was a lot of fun. Probably a top moment in regular season history. That huge inning. And it's always a good day when you beat the Brewers. But I'll be honest with you. I mean, every ounce of my body would want to vote for the second choice, but I wouldn't. I'd still vote for the Gonzo.
It's hands down.
Well.
Meanwhile, Medlin really settling in nicely.
Last pitch, a changeup, correct? And I think a really good one. Watch how far Young gets out front.
He knows it. He'll head back to the dugout. Medlin only given up 3 hits so far tonight. They've all left the ballpark. 3 solo home runs.
10 in a row sat down.
Yeah, he's settling in nicely, as we said.
So make sure and visit the website again. We love when you email us. And tomorrow we'll have a poll. Who's better, Steven Strasburg or a 4-year-old playing coach pitch? As that one is fouled off.
Since you just made me very happy right there, Darren, can I wish
you bet
a very happy 85th birthday to Paul Miguez. And he's watching at home right now in Green Valley, Arizona. 85th birthday. Happy birthday, Paul.
Well, Paul, happy birthday to you, and thanks for joining us. We appreciate your loyalty. Line drive center field, hangs up, and then it bounces around a bit. Been good to see for John Hester. His 8th hit this year. Came in hitting below 200.
And he certainly needed that one. He stayed on that one nicely and just ripped it into center field. Melky Cabrera almost let this get by him. But he found a way to knock it down and get it back in. And for Paul Miguez on your 85th birthday, vote for Gonzo's hit.
Edwin drops it down. Medlin fields, fires, and with a lob, it's in time for the out. Sack bunt, 2 away, runner at second.
Mark your calendars for All-American Weekend, July 2nd through the 4th, presented by Arizona Milk Producers. Enjoy the D-backs Dodger Series plus a post-game fireworks spectacular. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com.
All-American Weekend, All-American Family Weekend. We trust you have plans to join us at the ballpark. Braves still travel well, don't they? They're not on nationwide TV like they used to be, but boy, they have fans all over the country.
Yeah, they do.
You played on a team that had the same situation because your team was on nationwide television.
And quite possibly the most popular broadcaster ever in the history of baseball, and Harry Carey calling the games.
You bet.
So fortunate to have had him call a lot of my at-bats, and whether they were good or poor, he called them.
And the legendary director, Arnie Harris, in the truck. No one panned down better than Arnie Harris.
You got that right.
2-0. Good 2-0 pitch. Something about his fastball that's hard to describe. It's not a Brandon Webb, Derek Lowe sinker. But when he is right, from about the hip to the knees, it has a late jump to it downward. It's not a sinker, but it just has an extra gear in the end. That one away. Kelly was ready for it. Come on down. Let's see what you got. Hester chugging on around. The plate, the tag, safe at the plate. Kelly Johnson strikes again against his old club. Love Bo Porter there, jamming his foot on that gas.
That's just doing your homework if you're Bo Porter. Eric Hinsky, out of left fielder by trade. What a beautiful piece of hitting there by Kelly Johnson. Okay, John Hester, show me what you got. And this ball just never gets there. 1, 2, and just in there ahead of the tag. Great shot there. You see, just gets that foot in front of the tag. John Hester running pretty well for a big old catcher.
I tell you, love what Kelly's been able to do against his old team this year. Overall, we love what he's been able to do, but tonight having a great night.
Also, let's not forget, in this inning, that run doesn't score without a sacrifice by Edwin Jackson.
Change up, not interested. 1-1 the count to Connor Jackson.
It's always nice when a pitcher can help himself with a successful sacrifice.
Jacksonville is open. Chamber of Commerce obviously doing a lot of advertising. They want everyone to move in. Connor beaten by another changeup. A trio of Braves will get together, and in the end, it's the center fielder Melky Cabrera. But Kelly Johnson beats his old club in a little bit of a little ball just prior to that. Leaded tonight, and it was on this date. Our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning Cool Play. Hanzo getting large.
3
not
long
once,
balls.
not twice, Gracie, but 3 times.
That was that magical year for Gonzo. Everything he hit left the ballpark. That was a magical year for all of us.
Yeah, you bet. The older, but still beautiful Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Love baseball there. Yunel Escobar digs in, loads that leg, and takes it up and in. 1-0 the count. Jackson so far 94 pitches as he works in the 6th inning. Ground ball. Kelly Johnson vacuums it up and shoots it on across. Escobar is done.
It's just so important here for Edwin to have a clean inning. Your team went out and you helped yourself with a successful sacrifice bunt. Kelly Johnson picked you up with a big 2-out RBI. Now you need to take care of the bottom of the order here, Darren. You're facing 7, 8, and 9. You need to have a clean inning, get you right back in the dugout, and get the bats in your hands again.
Fastball is away. Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Medlin 92, Jackson 97, proud partner of the Diamondbacks and Fox Sports Arizona. Bouncer. Kelly Johnson sets, fires, got it. I'll tell you, he has been in the middle of everything tonight, offensively and defensively. Kelly Johnson, former Brave.
Had to go a long way to his right, gathers himself and throws a strike across the diamond just ahead of Melky Cabrera. Nice play there by Kelly Johnson again.
All those hours of footwork we spoke of years back that Kelly Johnson put in over the wintertime with Glenn Hubbard, now standing about 90 feet away from him, coaching at first base. No one was at Turner Field. Heck, folks would have paid to get a tour in the middle of the winter through that ballpark. He was touring out there at second base in an empty stadium day after day after day. According to Hubbard, some days about 27, 28 degrees in those cool mornings in Atlanta.
Golly.
Working on footwork.
28 degrees?
Some cool mornings that winter, according to Mr. Hubbard, who doesn't tell many tall tales.
Coach Hubbard, can we maybe go inside the clubhouse and maybe work on some footwork? Please? A little crisp.
The 3-0. Ball 4. Well, that's hard to figure, isn't it? There have been some just kind of disappearing moments tonight for Jackson, where he's just kind of left his body for a moment and then come back.
As a former pitcher, Darren, did you ever, if you were facing a pitcher or somebody that you knew was a below average hitter, did you find yourself maybe, oh gosh, I can't walk him, and all of a sudden you find yourself aiming the ball, something like that?
Sure, or you maybe just drift in your focus.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Okay.
Swing right through it, then you come back with a wicked slide.
Infante had his mind made up. He was swinging.
That one dives down and in. A changeup. 1-1 the count. Ground ball out to third. Reynolds tried to flag it off to the side. And so again, we hope we're not still talking about that walk to the pitcher here in a moment, because the inning rolls on.
Well, 2 freebies, a walk to the pitcher, now an error. As you said, he tried to play it side saddle, and they gave that a base hit.
Yes, they did.
I think Mark Reynolds will tell you that should be an error.
Bit of a surprise there. Reynolds will tell you, I think you're right. And that bullpen phone will ring. We can hear it up here. Well, now here's the young phenom and the dangerous slugger, Jason Hayward.
Well, you got that right. Better make some pitches, Mr. Jackson.
A changeup, strike one.
Good pitch, the fastball.
Blaine Boyer back up in the big leagues, and Saul Rivera sent out. And so Boyer will go to work. Boy, I tell you, a huge block there.
He's certainly earning his pinstripes back there tonight. Hester blocking up everything. Well, that's just textbook right there. That ball's got nowhere to go but right in front of him.
The 1-2. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Justin's charging. They're going to send him on down. The throw to the plate is not in time. The pitcher, Medlin, gets by the tag, is bent over at the waist. Doesn't look like he feels so good. Chipper says, come take a look at it. He is safe at the plate, the pitcher, Medlin. The pitcher who was walked with 2 outs in the inning. And we're tied.
Slider ripped into right field. Justin comes in. Throws a perfect strike to the plate. It looked like he did get his hand in there. He did. He did get his hand in there.
Yeah, jammed his hand because he hit that plate clean and slid hard across it. Maybe jammed that shoulder a little bit. It's not his throwing side, Gracie.
Well, we saw going into home plate head first. We saw Dontrell Willis do it. Now we see Medlin do it. That's very dangerous.
Jones, a high fly ball in the left center field. Young going back. He's got room and he puts it away. But an inexplicable 2-out walk to the pitcher has that man screaming into his glove. And because of that, the game is tied. Justin Upton, a couple of batters behind him off that same foul pole. And another home run. And then right back comes Mark Reynolds. This one ties the game up at 3 because it was 3-2, now 3-3. And then a 4-3 and then 4-4 as we take a look at the score. Coming back, Atlanta tying it up. 3 solo home runs for the Diamondbacks. Blimpie presents our game summary. So Medlin comes out of the game, and there will be not a huge rush as Dontrell Willis.
A little pep talk there for his new teammate Justin Upton.
Nothing wrong with that. Left-hander O'Flaherty goes to work. Medlin comes out of the game with an injury, so as long as O'Flaherty needs, he will be able to take advantage of his time. And I tell you, Gracie, I know it was a dangerous slide, but it was an athletic slide. He wanted to go around the tag at home plate. What do you think of his work tonight, Medlin?
I thought he was terrific. He kept his team in the ball game nicely. I mean, even the line score is not great, but you see You know, he's able to strike. It's a perfect strike from Justin. He found a way to contort his body. It looks like unnaturally. Hopefully he's okay. That would be a big blow to the Braves. He's throwing the ball very well this year. Eric O'Flaherty. He's going to come in and take over. Left-handed with a good breaking ball and a good enough fastball. Having a good year.
He was a Mariners pick back in 2003 in the 6th round. Atlanta grabbing him off of waivers a couple of winters ago. Last year, he appeared in 78 games and really did a lot of work. I want to ask all of you, if you are curious, you're walking around the ballpark, as to what is that big game they're playing out there? What is Kachinko? Find out and learn how to play right here at Chase Field by going to the interactive kiosk during section 111 during Diamondbacks games, during home games. Kachinko, Gila River Casinos. And that ought to be a lot of fun. Maybe on this next couple of home stands we'll be able to do a game from out there. So Drew to lead it off.
I think that's a very bad idea, actually.
O'Flaherty runs that one away.
A lot of fun out there. Don't want to do a game.
Drew popped to second, fly to left field. And it's a high fly ball into the gap in left center field. Over, under, and out as the play is made by Cabrera. Four is our score. And here is Justin Upton. Upton with that home run needed it. He was 2 for 11 on the series coming in. Off the end of the bat there. What we have seen with Upton this year is a dip in numbers against left-handed pitchers. And I think it's a surprise to some because he has owned lefties throughout his career. As that one bounces in there. And you've got to think that one of the reasons is that Upton is just seeing more soft stuff and not as many fastballs. And then when he does see a fastball, would imagine he's being pitched in a lot more cut fastballs in. That one runs hard in. Like that, 2-1 the count. I tell you, if I've watched Justin Upton on film or sent my advanced scouts out to see him, that's what I'm telling my lefties. You come anywhere near the plate with a straight fastball, we're sending you to AAA. Soft and then hard in. A changeup. Over aggressive on it. 2-2.
And you hope Justin, with that long home run in the first inning, doesn't go up there starting to think, well, I've got to hit more home runs. He doesn't need to swing hard to hit home runs.
Upton at .377 against lefties last year. Slugged .762. .377 last year with a slugging percentage of nearly .800. This year we've seen a little bit of a difference, hitting just .227 against lefties and slugging just a touch over .300. The 3-2. Topper tried to do quite a bit with it. Chipper Jones off balance. Fine play by the aging veteran out there at third. Justin was running too. That's what made it a great play. And a fine chopper to Chipper.
And Justin, I mean, he's getting after it. Boy, look how quickly he made the exchange and threw a strike over to first base. That is a great play, especially with the speed of Upton. Fabulous play.
So Charlie Leibrandt deals it to chopper to Chipper. Fires on across. Braves win the World Series. Andy Griffith is next.
For some reason, I hear the late great Skip Carey in my ear.
Well, Booth next door is his son and our good friend, Chip Carey. And, of course, you talk a lot of. Oh, you bet. You talk a lot about the senior member, the first who made his way through, your good friend, Harry Carey. What a proud family of broadcasters. 1-1 the count.
Chip got his baseball start with the Chicago Cubs.
The 1-1. Breaking ball in. And you go down a couple of booths, and you got Pops down there. My dad and Jim Powell is over there, who used to work with Bob Euchre for so long.
Right.
So this is a familiar trip for all of us for a lot of different reasons. The 2-1 is outside. 3-1 the count.
There's Don in the familiar hairdo.
That's where you were talking about guys who work the count and find other ways to manufacture it. Every now and then.
The 3-1 broke his bat.
Goodness.
And it's gobbled up in time for the out. Oh, Flaherty. Oh, Flaherty. Oh, Flaherty. The pitcher late in the ball game. Let's take a look at the pitches that we saw tonight. We showed you the repertoire coming on the air. Jack in the box, think outside of the box. He showed them all, and the only pitch we didn't see was the curveball. Two-seam fastball, dive, down and in, swing and a miss, Troy Gloss. Four-seam fastball, a little more life on it, up in the zone, and running in on the hands there, a pop-up. Lively. He threw some key changeups, none bigger than this one to Brian McCann. That got a swing and a miss, and then a majority of the pitches he threw tonight, simply put, were sliders. He's got one of the best in the game when it's right, and certainly that one over the top of it. We did not see a curveball tonight. Only throws it about 4% of the time. Didn't throw one tonight. So outside of the box, the work of Edwin Jackson. And I think what frustrates you most if you're Mel Jr., his pitching coach, or if you're Edwin himself, is that you go through all those pitches and you talk about the line and you talk about the work, and what everyone will be talking about in the end is that walk to the pitcher in the 6th inning.
You're exactly right. With 2 outs and Medlin up, 4 wide ones. I mean, 4 not even close. And unfortunately for Edwin Jackson, the Diamondbacks, Medlin came around to score. Diamondbacks are going to turn it over to their bullpen. And a big hearty welcome back to Blaine Boyer.
Boyer makes his way back after working in the minor leagues. 5 relief appearances, 1.50 ERA. In the big leagues, you saw the numbers. He had a real tough go of it. So let's hope that for Boyer, if he was claimed on waivers at any point, he wouldn't even have been a Diamondback anymore. So the work he did down in AAA Reno because of the struggles of Saul Rivera. The 1-1 coming home to Brian McCann.
No, if he's throwing strikes, Blaine Boyer can be effective. The stuff is very good. Hard thrower, good breaking ball, as well as a changeup. The problem with Boyer in his first stint with the Diamondbacks, he just didn't throw enough strikes. Walks killed him.
The Diamondbacks bullpen, in their last week of games, we have positive news to report, and that's a good thing. In their last 18 innings, the ERA is 3.50. Opponents hit just .219, and that man's been a big part of it, Esperling Vasquez, and only 1 home run allowed. That is the key number right there for that man. 2-2. Fly ball center field. Young going back in it. Chris is there, and he puts it away. McCann, who singled in a run back in the first, is 0 for 3 to follow. Hey, by the way, don't forget web chat coming up. Web chat alert on FoxSportsArizona.com. It'll be tomorrow. Jack Magruder will be talking Diamondbacks baseball with you. Insider's perspective with Jack. And always visit us on FoxSportsArizona.com. What do they say in the computer world? Make it a favorite? Bookmark it? I forget all the fancy terminology that you computer people use. That one is away. 1-0 the count. Gloss struck out, grounded to third, and walked.
Well, I would imagine as much as you answer trivia questions with your computer, I'm sure you know how to bookmark all those answers.
Anyway, the 1-0 is low. 2-0 the count. Georgia born and raised. Boyer runs that one in. 3-0. Yeah, that is the best news of all that Kurt Zacher, our statistician, passed along. The lack of homers. I mean, that has just been the biggest bugaboo of them all for this bullpen. And what happened here? What's the call?
He must have went to his mouth, and I don't know if you're allowed to do that. So
we're going to have a
ball was called.
conversation.
Joe West called ball 4 from first base. I don't know why.
But you can go to your mouth. We'll take a look at it. And he charged him with the ball.
Okay, are you allowed to go to your mouth on the mound now? I think you can.
Yes, you are, but you have to wipe it on your pants.
And he did. Okay, there it was. There's the wipe.
But he had gone to his mouth and went straight to the ball.
I got you. You can go to your mouth, but you have to wipe immediately. There he goes to the mouth. He goes right to the ball. That's illegal, and that's a ball. Joe West got that right.
Takes a lot of gruff, that Joe West. We stand in Joe's corner.
It's the correct call.
It is the correct call. He was watching closely. And let's be clear about this with Boyer. He did it more out of habit. You know, guys that pitch want a little moisture on their hands to get tack on the baseball. He didn't do it to load up the baseball.
No.
He didn't do it. No, he didn't.
And if he did, well, it's been happening for years, for decades. Boyer needs to throw a strike. He's thrown 6 straight wide ones.
Shot down the line. Hinske on the move. Troy Gloss doesn't run too well. Boy, trailing behind, drawing the throw to slide. Just in time. I tell you, out in left field, the right throw was made by Connor Jackson. Even though the shorter shot was to third, he saw Gloss was in there. He nearly threw out Hinske.
You're exactly right. Beautiful piece of hitting there by Hinske past a diving Mark Reynolds. Connor Jackson comes up. Just ahead is Eric Hinske, ahead of the tag of Kelly Johnson. Blaine Boyer has officially gotten himself in a bit of a mess here with 1 out in the top of the 7th.
So now Yunel Escobar. One and 0 the count. Doing a nice job with runners in scoring position tonight. The infield is in, as that one with a big swing is pounded foul. Bullpen gets busy again. Cesar Valdez will go to work. In. Two and one the count. Again, those defenders on their toes, ready as they are cheating in. Nowhere close. 3-1 the count. This speaks to right now the state of this bullpen. Even though they're piecing things back together, the extra work for Heilman, Vasquez, and Qualls. The drop off in the depth chart, that in a close ball game against a first place club, Lane Boyer has a big responsibility when he has struggled in the big leagues all year. He helped him there.
He got him to chase ball 4 there. Well, with the base open, they could be possibly pitching around Escobar in this situation, take their chances with Melky Cabrera on deck. Got him to chase ball 4 there, but you're right, I wouldn't.
I would certainly hope not.
But maybe he can throw him something in the dirt to chase.
Bouncing ball, he knocks it down. He's got a run down. He might get himself out of a big mess. Just run gloss on back, and there you go. All right. He made a pitch. He ran it in. He busted up his bat, so maybe Boyer will gain a little bit of confidence now. I mean, he's got the kind of stuff. Throw it down the middle, let it eat, as they like to say, and it ate that bat up.
Just an easy comebacker. He knocks it down, takes a look. Troy Gloss is coming, then it's easy. Once Hinsky goes to third base, just running back, make the tag, and yeah, Dontrell and Rodrigo Lopez happy with that. Chris Snyder, get a little spit out there. That's nice.
Shot into center field. The Braves lead it 5-4. Melky Cabrera with an RBI. He tripled early in this ball game. 14 batted in, came in hitting .233.
Oh, just a rope off the bat of Cabrera on the very first pitch he saw from Boyer. Fastball, bang. 5-4 Braves.
Brooks Conrad out of Arizona State University. Real strong bench player for these Braves. Gets an opportunity now. Over the outside corner to Conrad. First career grand slam back in late May, bottom of the ninth, to give Atlanta a 10-9 victory over Cincinnati. How about that? You're trailing by 3, hit a grand slam to walk them off, as that is a hard ground ball. Kelly Johnson didn't have anybody covering the bag at second, so he had to turn and throw to LaRoche. The Braves grab the lead 5-4 as these Diamondbacks slipping a bit.
aggressive in describing Edwin Jackson over his last few starts. I would presume the word tonight might be focus or lack thereof.
He's been a model of aggressiveness and focus his past few starts, but tonight they find themselves on the short end from one person in that Brave lineup, and I guarantee you don't know who it is.
I'm just looking at my scorecard near the bottom. There's a lot of blue and pink with runs scored. Hey, real quick, Joe West got you for going to the mouth when you pitched?
Many a time.
Many a time, huh? Trying to skirt the rules here?
Yeah, a little
Just
bit.
don't go to the mouth, Joe.
I didn't do anything. It was
Okay.
nothing.
He wasn't loading up.
Not at all.
Darren Mark, back to you.
Sure. That is great stuff. And I'll tell you what, you pitchers out there, those hitters, they've got a bat in their hands. They've got a weapon. What do you have? I don't blame you. Load it up if you can. I don't think he was, though. That's the only thing. Mark Reynolds lead off. I want to congratulate friend of the show, Jeff Erlab from Grand Canyon University. He got drafted today. Jeff, way to go. Good luck with the A's, I believe.
Man. Nice going. Congratulations.
And Peter Moylan takes the rock, and he rolls and goes to work against Mark Reynolds. Slider. Side-wheeler coming down low, and Reynolds out front. Mark, they like to call him the Sheriff, and he earned that badge tonight with a homer. Back in the second inning. Waves at a slider. A reminder, anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow. 3 pitches, and Reynolds goes down on strikes. 3 sliders. They almost look like they came out of a pitching machine in the same spot every time. Scouts gathered together. I think it's a night for only advanced scouts to be able to watch the game. Rest of the scouts, the amateur scouts, they'll have a cold one. They'll make the team buy you dinner, which is actually what's going on tonight.
A lot of hard work. Years worth of hard work went into today.
When you go get a big steak and a lobster, give the bill to that man. Another round, bartender. Give the bill to Mr. Burns. A couple for my friends on Mr. Burns as well.
That's exactly right.
Just met these guys over here. They're big D-backs fans. Mr. Burns would like to buy you around.
And they are some kind of thirsty.
But it was fun to be up there today, kind of in the quieter day when the cameras leave and you're down in about the 24th round. And then the guys who grinded all over the country, hundreds of thousands of car miles and airplane flights and goodbyes to families to go find that kid somewhere. Pitching in high school, junior college, or college. Yep. Give the bill to Mr. Burns. The 3-1. Inside, ball 4.
Good at bat there by Chris Young.
He emphatically says, don't mess with CY. Come on. Need a little bit more out of that sign holder. What do you think, Grace? You get him going?
Well, I want to take me a look-see at Mr. Moylan's delivery first to see if he's... Most of these side-wheelers are pretty quick to the plate. Right now, you've got the tying run on first base. You'd love to get him to second. Let's take a look-see at Moylan first. Oh, yeah, he did not get him. Joe West with the safe call. Troy Gloss, not emphatic, but he is showing that he disagrees with the call by Joe West. Looking right at it, he says safe, tough to tell. looks like you can go on him. That is a very deliberate delivery.
Good move, but as you said, what happens when it comes to the plate?
A very quick move, you're right.
This year, 6 stolen bases against, 1 thrown out against Moylan.
He does have quick feet to first, but he has slow feet to the plate.
He handcuffed Gloss. Young thought about it.
Nowhere to go there. That's the right place. Stay at first. And you're right. Troy Gloss needs a key for those handcuffs.
Troy's working over there. He's working on it. One and 0 the count. 7th inning. Atlanta leads at 5-4. Bouncing ball, and it's a foul ball. The only thing that you think about is the fact that in 18 opportunities to get a double play this year, Moylan's rolled up 5 of them. 5 of them.
That's very good.
Well, you bet it's good. It's about 3 times league average. Gerardo Parra is on deck. All right, let's keep an eye on Young. Trying to stay out of that double play. Move up. I give him credit, Grace. He is slow to the plate as all get out, but he's being deliberate and has some good moves over there.
He's varying his times as he comes set.
One and
the
2
outside
the
corner
count.
with a good slider there.
This is the 1,000th home game in the history of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Got to make
in the
this a
regular
winner
season. You bet. And they are about 70 games over 500 in their home games. Talk about for a baby franchise how spoiled these fans have been. Keeps it close.
Quick feet.
The 1-2. Got him. Slider. Two outs for Gerardo Parra.
Way out in front of that one was Hester. So Gerardo Parra is going to get an opportunity here with 2 outs.
Roger McDowell, pitching coach for these Atlanta Braves, will come out for a brief conversation.
I think right now is the time where you take a chance if you're Chris Young.
He knows all about him now. There's no doubt about that. And so now Parra readies himself to go to work. 243 this year.
This would be a good time for that first home run of the year for Gerardo Parra.
He had 5 of them last year.
We got it out of Connor Jackson a couple of nights ago. Why not tonight for Gerardo Parra?
Parra in his career, 1 for 20 as a pinch hitter.
What? Yikes.
Surprised me too. That's surprising, isn't it?
He's just too good a hitter.
A lot of good things. The one thing we know in his career is that timely hitting has been, as a starter obviously, has been his specialty. Let's see if he can break that trend. Drives him back to the bag. Parra, in 263 plate appearances in his career with men on base, is a .350 hitter. Wags that bat, loads up the back leg. Runner goes, and he stole it. Boy,
great jump.
A little double dribble as he hits the ground. He had a huge jump, so Young on the move again. 9 stolen bases.
Well, you had to take the chance right there with 2 outs. and he gets a monster jump. McCann doesn't even throw. Don't get hurt, Chris Young. Little face plant there, but he'll be all right. Now just a lousy single, tie up the ball game. Nice job there by Chris Young. Going early in the count, too. So Parra can take it for him. Now he can go to work. 3-0 with Kelly Johnson on deck, and he has been a thorn in the Braves' side, his former team.
Couple of RBIs tonight for Kelly. Homer and an RBI single. Outside, he lost him. Parra put a good at bat on him coming off the bench.
I think that's going to be all for Mr. Moylan. Bobby Cox on his way to the mound.
Skipper will go get the left-hander. It might be Venters as my guess. He's done a great job. So Johnson, we've seen it a couple times this year. You go get a lefty out of the bullpen, and he'll come get him himself. Venters comes on. And he can flat out bring it. In 19 appearances, a 1.11 ERA. You can see the inherited runners, though, the 5 of 9. So not a super high rate there in first batter efficiency, but Kelly Johnson in the first inning going the other way. This will help against the lefty.
The one thing we know about Kelly Johnson, he will hang in there off left-handers. This is a hard thrower, and he can get a little bit wild, Darren. And this is a tough road to hoe right here for Kelly Johnson.
That pitch is over the inside. You saw that slugging percentage against lefties, that big number. League average slugging percentage is .402 in the National League. .402, and you see what he does. Bouncing ball into center field. It's a base hit. Young comes on around. The throw will go to third. Parra's hung up. And he is tagged out. But the run did score. Chris Young tied it up at 5. Kelly Johnson, we set the scene. He was ready for the southpaw. And he hurts his old team again.
Parra sitting in the dugout a little bit dejected because he made a base running mistake, folks. Know who you have in front of you. Chris Young, one of the fastest guys on the team. He's going to score easily on this play. You don't need to force the throw to third base. You don't need to protect Chris Young. He would have scored easily on that play. All Parra has to do right there is stay at second base. Chris Young scores easily. Now you give Connor Jackson an opportunity to possibly win the ball game for you with the next batter. So, yes, the run does score. And Parra did draw the throw, but the run was going to score anyway. Chris Young, one of the fastest guys in the game of baseball, easily going to score on that ball.
And again, the deeper education on that, and that's great stuff. The deeper education is that's why he ran, folks. I bet you a lot of you might not even have known the first part of what Gracie is talking about is you're telling all of us he went intentionally, simply put, to draw that throw to third.
That's the only reason he went. He knew he couldn't make it to third. He went. So in other words, he did what he wanted to do, which was draw the throw, but he didn't need to do that. Chris Young's going to score easily on that play. Just stay at second base and keep the inning going, and you had a tie game.
Good stuff. Parra had a fine at bat, but got a little bit ahead of himself, certainly on the base paths.
Now, to his defense, if you've got a runner out there at second base, if you're on first base there and you've got a runner like me at second base, and you see that I'm being sent, yes, now you go to try to protect me, try to draw the throw to third base, because there's a much better chance that I'll get thrown out at the plate, or a runner of my speed will get thrown out at the plate. So that's when you go to third and try to draw the throw. But Chris Young, one of the fastest guys in the game, and the ball, and it wasn't like it was a laser into center field. It was a bouncing ball. Chris Young would have scored easily.
And a great hit by Kelly Johnson, a perfectly spotted ground ball through the middle of the diamond.
And a leadoff walk.
Right fielder Jason Hayward. And a leadoff walk, certainly not the order of the day of late for Vasquez, who has been much more effective last couple of outings. Again, as we tie it into that walk-off balk that he has pitched much better since. Change up, and that's a big reason why. As I'm way out front of that change of pace, Esperling, the man out of Tenares in the Dominican Republic. 26-year-old right-hander. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss and another changeup. 0-2 the count.
Well, one more ought to do it, huh, Darren?
You said it.
Two beautiful changeups, both way out in front. Is young Jason Hayward.
His 2 outings on this homestand, 3 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts. Scoreless baseball, no hits allowed. Change up, strike 3. I mean, he can get that ball floating. And when I say floating, I mean, I'm not always sure he knows where it's going, but it has a bit of a knuckleball effect to it.
An interesting night for Jason Hayward. He's 2 for 5 tonight, 2 base hits, and 3 strikeouts. That one just locked him up. That's an easy call. That was right down the middle, belt high.
You can see he even missed his spot a bit. But a strike is a strike, as you said. Here's Chipper Jones. Fastball shoots it right over the outside corner. That's the way you start things. When you have the kind of stuff in that right arm that this young man has, first pitch strikes are everything. Inside. And when he gets a first pitch strike in his career after 0-1, opponents hit just .230 against him. I'm surprised it's that high. Chipper with that toe tap we've gotten so used to seeing. And those are numbers that will get you closer to Cooperstown. The later, the better.
Just a guy you hated to see come up in these situations his entire career.
All the power. We've mentioned the homers, 429, but yet in his career, he has walked more than he has struck out. 100 walks more than strikeouts, and he struck out about 1,200 times outside. And though, again, the numbers may be down this year, he still is a tough strikeout for the numbers he puts up. 38 walks, 25 strikeouts. The 3-1. Change up, what a pitch. What a pitch to the future Hall of Famer. And Chris Young is there to make the play. Fabulous pitch.
Well, you couldn't be more correct, Darren Sutton. 3-1, looking fastball. Nope, I get a change up, and I can't believe I just did that. Score a victory for the youngster there over the wily old man.
He was gearing up for that fastball, as he needs to do, maybe a little bit more. And Chipper there, beaten by a right-handed pitcher, and he's one of the best against righties amongst all switch hitters in his career. Runner goes, pitches in, throw by Hester, not in time. Taking a good long look was Angel Hernandez over there. We'll see why in the replay. Stolen base, by the way, number 3 for Infante.
And with 2 outs now, Bobby Cox pressing the gas pedal. Nice throw there by Hester. Infante just got too big a jump. And Darren, I think we owe a shout out to some friends of ours just downstairs for that wonderful food we had here this evening. Macayos.
Oh, you bet.
Took great care of us tonight, and we want to thank them for the great meal that Darren is still eating.
The 2-0 is a changeup at his high. The folks at Macayos, you can enjoy, obviously, many of their fine locations are here at the ballpark. Great Mexican food, and we want to thank them for their generosity tonight. The 2-0. That pitch is high. Check that. It was 3-0. Had a couple of balls up there, and it's ball 4. So McCann draws the walk.
And this is Vasquez's game. Nobody in the pen. Troy Gloss, he had 44 RBIs. A big opportunity here with 2 out in the 8th inning. This game's just flying.
Troy's always stood tall as a hitter, used his leverage as he takes a blazer over the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. Broke his bat. It's a ground ball and it's a foul ball. 0-2 the count.
Vasquez jumped ahead with a fastball away and then came right in on the hands with the fastball that time and broke his bat and jumps ahead 0-2.
-2 the count. 5-5 the score. Change up, he wouldn't bite. Loss breaking in with some hardcore veterans around him like Dave Hollins, Gary D. Sarcina, Darren Erstad. The 1-2. Line drive into the corner. That one will go. One run is in. Hunter will chase it into that triangle. Don't stop. puts his club on top 6-5. And the scoreless string for Vasquez ends at 2 games.
Another 2-out walk. Late comes back to haunt the Diamondbacks. Troy Gloss, he now has 45 RBIs. Once again, these Braves make Diamondback pitching pay for 2-out walks.
Pitch is in. 1-0 the count. Gutierrez warms in the bullpen.
He's going to have to pitch it before the season ends.
If you're keeping him on your roster.
Exactly.
Change up, drops in there. 1-1 the count.
And even though Juan Gutierrez has an ERA of 10, if you're taking up a roster spot, you're going to have to pitch.
Fastball grabs the outside. Well, a good one at Dodger Stadium now in the 8th inning. Scoreless ball game. It's Carpenter and Kuroda going toe-to-toe in the 8th inning. A little number. Vasquez sets, shoots it over, somehow made the play. A great play, but the damage is done. So now time to get it going. Time for Connor Jackson, Stephen Drew, and for Justin Upton.
And first of all, congratulations, Frank. You're the Iron Man of Diamondbacks baseball.
Thank you. It's been exciting.
How difficult has it been to come to every game? Certainly there have had to be conflicts, but your dedication has been there.
You know, for the most part, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's baseball. You're here, Major League Baseball. You're getting to see a good team on the field and a good product, and it's enjoyable.
You're also the chairman of the Season Ticket Advisory Board, so you also have an impact a little bit now with this organization, right?
Yes, the advisory board is kind of a liaison. It works with the fans and the Diamondbacks, and we're here to help the season ticket holders.
Frank, it's an amazing feat. Congratulations. And he'll tell you guys he's been to actually 1,017 if you count those postseason games as well.
Yes. That's awesome.
Frank, your loyalty, and he said, Gracie, exactly what you just said. These are some of the best players in the world. This is Major League Baseball. And the visitors that come to town, meaning the opposing teams, your home team, whether they're scuffling through it like the D-backs are this year, winning a World Series in 01. Bouncing ball. Off balance, long throw, and Connor Jackson with an infield hit. Yaniel Escobar, certainly a Herculean effort, but no chance there. Too long of a throw, and it was off the mark. So, a nice answer back by the Diamondbacks right away.
Well, in this Major League Baseball game, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Escobar does everything he can. But Connor Jackson will get an infield hit there, and off to a good start here.
Trying to get to the taco runs. Of course, 6 runs. Our good friends with Taco Bell. They are undefeated, these Diamondbacks, when they score 6 or more runs.
Boy, what a breaking ball that was from Venters.
Gregor Blanco is the new left fielder. Stephen Drew, you can see our Amica Insurance hit zone. Drew with another triple last night, a key triple. And emptied the bases. Scoring to bunt, and he takes low.
And that pretty much tells you right there. He wasn't too comfortable with that first breaking ball from Venters, so I think he feels like he might be better off dropping a bunt and letting Justin Upton take his chances behind him. I'd like to see Steven drive it in the gap.
Boy, now Chipper way in on the grass at third. Stabs at a ball and fouls it off. No driving in the gap that time. 1-2 the count. So, as you evaluate what you've seen, you think the bunting was done on his own?
Well, I think so. I'd be kind of shocked if you only have 6 outs left in this ballgame. You're down a run. Now, if you're tied in this situation, yeah, it might call for a bunt. But right now, with 6 outs, you're giving the Braves an out here. And then you're forcing a base hit to tie the ball game, not to give you the lead. What do you think?
Love exactly what you're talking about. Giving away outs, as you said, if it's a 6-6 game here.
Exactly.
It's a different situation.
If you're tied, I do like the bunt here. I like swinging it in this situation, whatever the result. I think Stephen Drew has proven in his career that he's certainly trustworthy in these situations.
What an arm this left-hander has.
Oh, he did. He just reared back and challenged Stephen Drew right down the middle with a fastball. Power on power.
Johnny Venters, a 30th round draft pick in the 2003 free agent draft.
Isn't that amazing? Kid with an arm like this. You find him.
Overthrew that one. Nearly took Stevens' helmet off his head.
Maybe that's why he went in the 30th round. Maybe a little wild as a youngster. Whoa.
3-2 the count. Over the top. And I mean, that's not only hard, but heavy.
Yeah, that ball sunk down out of the zone. Stephen Drew couldn't lay off of it. That's a big, big out for Venters. Watch this ball sink way down around the shoe tops. Stephen can't lay off of it.
All right, we keyed in on the lefties and how they are now pitching to Upton and how the numbers have dipped. I mean, he used to maul lefties, have them running for cover. That's not the case this year. Let's watch how they pitch him.
Oh,
fastball corner.
Last year in this situation, Darren, Bobby Cox goes out and gets Venters and brings in a right-hander. This year, well, the numbers show that you should probably stay with the left-hander.
At some point, you would think that'll turn. He hasn't changed dramatically as a hitter. He did start it with a fastball. It was over the outside corner. Now let's see how they attack it. And again, the difference. Last year, that average against lefties was .377. And that slugging percentage was over 700. breaking ball.
Big rip. Once again, Justin doesn't need to swing hard to hit the ball hard. Watch this hard swing. When you do swing that hard, a lot of times your head comes off the ball, which means your shoulder, your front hip, everything pulls off of it.
Even in the minor leagues, only 1 year where he didn't just tear apart lefties. Just 1 year. Bouncing ball to third. Chipper. There's one on the first, and it's thrown away. And he did make the turn, so he'll have to get right back to the bag. Connor Jackson went in hard to make sure it wasn't an easy double play to turn. See Upton angry with himself.
Chipper playing right on the line.
I mean, right on the line.
How about Connor Jackson going in real hard right there, forcing the wild throw? That's just good hard baseball right there. Nicely done by Connor Jackson. Nothing dirty or illegal about it. Just trying to keep the inning alive for Adam LaRoche.
Swings and misses at a wicked slider away. 0-1 the count. Well, this just is not a joy for a left-handed hitter.
You just got to chew on that front shoulder and keep it in there and try to drive him into the big part of the park. Right by him with the fastball.
Well, the good news is, I think if you're a lefty, and I say this 100% tongue-in-cheek, is it hang in there, because then you'll be all right with Billy Wagner next.
Yeah, he's next.
Boy, you lefties, Gracie, with this bullpen. Goodness.
Bobby's got an answer for every left-handed hitter, doesn't he?
The 0-2. Runner on the move. Upton loved that against the lefty. I know it's a tall task for LaRoche, but
yeah, with 2 outs,
you bet.
Give it a try. Now a little bloop single, tie the ball game up. Great jump. Throw is high. Upton easily in there. And just give that pitcher something else to think about out there. Venter's a youngster. Still feeling his way at the major league level. Give him something to think about. He might make a mistake, and Adam LaRoche can hurt it.
They get together on the mound to discuss the situation. By the way, lefties this year coming in against Venters, 3 for 28. 3 for 28. That would be a man you can bring out of your bullpen that lefties hit 107 against.
Exactly. Kelly Johnson solved him for an RBI base hit. Stephen Drew struck out. Now Adam LaRoche looks at a 1-2 count.
Makes you tip your cap more to Kelly.
You got that right.
The 1-2. Got it. So LaRoche goes down on strikes. Upton is stranded. 6-5 is the score. One more frame for the D-backs. Wicked, wicked stuff. Arizona, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Quest high-speed internet, blazing fast speeds. They won't burn up your wallet. Valley Hyundai dealers, 7th inning stretch, your dollar. Hyundai, now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. ValleyHyundaiDealers.com. Downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Mark Grace.
Yes, sir.
Jody Jackson. My name is Darren Sutton, and glad to have you with us. I tell you, the order of the day for Juan Gutierrez, I think, is confidence, and confidence can be had with a 0. Now, 0 obviously helps the Diamondbacks in their confidence if they're going to come back. But for Gutierrez, we've talked about it all season long, the walk-offs, the homers, the frustrations. The right-hander with the electric arm has just had a tough go of it all year long.
Well, he's called on to hold down the fort. You got a 1-run deficit right here, and your job right now is to try to have a good, quick, crisp inning. Get the boys in the dugout and take their chances against Billy Wagner, the Braves closer. But you can't give up any insurance runs right here if you're Juan Gutierrez. Trust yourself, trust your talent, and throw the baseball with some passion. Because there's a lot of talent there.
There's a lot of talent. And for Gutierrez, as the fastball misses away, you certainly, as a fan of this team, and we know you are, and we understand it, find yourself frustrated with the struggles of the bullpen. With that 7.21 ERA. But this is a guy that, as a person, is really easy to cheer for. I mean, has always handled himself with class through these struggles, has been available should we want to talk to him.
He's a big old sweetheart.
Has never made a single excuse.
Exactly.
The 1-1. Slider. Misses outside. 2-1 the count. The 10 home runs allowed. Far and away more than any relief pitcher in Major League Baseball. Number 2 on that list. Well, there's 4 of them. Godin, Hoffman, Mathis, and Mujica. It's a curveball. That's a different look. Not a bad idea on 2-1. Just about every other day you can hear Mel Stoudemire Jr. holler out, "Goody, let's go." And they'll go down to the bullpen and work. Relievers usually can't do that. When your outings are few and far between, you may as well tweak and see what you can figure out. 2-2. Slider. There we go. That's strike 3.
Anything wrong with that?
So he went slower curveball to get a called strike, then harder slider.
Just absolutely abused, Escobar in that situation with the breaking ball.
Ian Kennedy on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Kenshin Kawakami having a tough go of it. Tough luck and poor pitching combined this year. Tommy Hanson, the Diamondbacks beat him up in Atlanta. And Dontrell Willis, that's a day game. And we'll have them both for you. Changeup, and that's a strike. Again, a different look. And the key, strike 1.
That's exactly right. Cabrera, an aggressive hitter. Go ahead and drop the changeup on him first pitch. And then get his attention inside.
Good pitch. 1-1 the count.
That's what I'm saying. Throw the baseball with some passion. Believe in your stuff. Believe in yourself and your talent. Nothing wrong with a kneecap ball once in a while. I think it's 7 miles an hour. I think Big Juan's feeling it out there a little bit, Darren.
I think so, too, and I think that pitch in was commanded where he wanted it. I think when you've given up 10 home runs, you've just had it. You don't like guys digging in against you all the time, which they've done. The 1-2. Breaking ball in. 2-2 the count. His first 4-inning pitch of the year, he gave up just 1 hit. And since then, a lot of loud noises. And it's quieter tonight. Change-up, ground ball, LaRoche off his glove and into right field.
Bouncing ball. Adam LaRoche just couldn't make the play. And now it's a foot race. After the ball, no chance there for Kelly Johnson. Foot race for Justin Upton to keep that as a single. A good hustle there by Upton to keep it at a single. Nate McLeod's going to get a look here.
McLeod homering earlier this year against Gutierrez in Atlanta.
Oh, it has been a rough season for Nate McLeod.
Ground ball, base hit, right field. Confident against Gutierrez, though, as he takes advantage.
175 coming into the game for a batting average. He just bangs it right through the right side. First and second. Just one out. Now it's time for Juan Gutierrez to find a way. Find a way. Anyway, by hook or by crook, Darren, to put a 0 on the board.
Omar Infante. Tonight, he's had a great night. 3 hits, a walk, a stolen base. Fastball, 1-0, the count. These Diamondbacks fans get a little ornery about the few tomahawk choppers at the ballpark tonight.
Got to protect your house.
Outside, 2-0 the count. What's going on with the chopping with the Heron jersey on? Did Danny get traded?
No.
Wait a minute now. He's pitching so well.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, no, he's still here. The 2-0. Fastball up and away. He beat him with that one there. Yeah, up and in. I mean, that's where Infante, like from what we've seen tonight, if Gutierrez would want to really waste one and maybe have Infante dropped and dusting off his back, that'd probably be a double left.
I think you're right.
I mean, that first RBI, I still am trying to figure out.
I think you got to throw this guy batting practice fastballs down the middle to get him out.
There it is.
Something like that. Yeah,
well, funny thing,
96 miles an hour is not batting practice fastball.
They missed their spot, though. They wanted to look at where he set up. They missed their spot.
Right to the middle. Yeah, I can't hit that one. Don't throw it there.
Telling you, folks, if he hits his spot there in, Infante fights it off for a triple. 2-2 the count. We've got to keep it right here to 1-run deficit. Runner goes to third, and he stole that one on Gutierrez.
Strike 3 to Infante.
Which was a big second out.
Well, what a beautiful breaking ball. No chance for Hester. A great jump out there by Cabrera. One big out left. And that's the youngster Jason Hayward.
Hayward digs in, looking to hit this ball to Globe.
That's a long ball. He's got the longest home run in the game this year in his very first at bat.
Good idea. Change up, but it puts him in a hole. 1-0 the count.
I'm not throwing batting practice out here. Sometimes you just got to introduce yourself a little bit, Darren Sutton. And a big change up right after it, and I think Hayward was a little bit upset, and he was going to try to hit one to Globe right there. And he got a nice change up and came up empty.
Another, and that time he was ready for it. 3-1 the count. Johnson a step onto the outfield grass, playing back at second. Lost him with a changeup high. Well, now the matchup is with Chipper Jones, who we have seen this year so far has had a harder time catching up with the fastball. So is that all he will see?
I still don't want to face this guy in this situation.
Fair enough. 1 for 3 this year. He singled in the first inning on a slider in. Nowhere to put him. Fastball misses in.
Now we're going to have a meeting on the mound. Mel Stottlemyre, not real crazy about what he's seeing out there from Juan Gutierrez. Bullpen phone ringing as we speak. Who's it going to be? Glenn Sherlock. Looks like Rosa. No, Valdez.
So Chipper ready to roll. Meeting is over. Change up.
Nicely done.
1-1 the count.
Chipper looked like he was just taking all the way. Now he'll go back to work. That familiar concentration.
To the backstop it goes. Off the catcher's mitt of Hester. A run will score. And it's 7-5.
It almost looked like he was trying to hit Chipper Jones with this one. Watch how far inside this ball goes. He steps right at him, throws it right at him. Boy, that's tough to watch.
Two and two the count. So a wild pitch with the bases loaded. Arizona already had issued 11 bases loaded walks this year, more than any team in baseball. Twice they have hit a batter with the bases loaded. This time, though, a wild pitch, an insurance run, and another tough inning for the right-hander. 7-5 the score. Time to get it going. Reynolds, Young, and Hester in the bottom of the ninth. Series continues as the Diamondbacks and Braves in this hot month of June. It's heating up in Arizona, and baseball's toughest schedule this month belongs to the Diamondbacks. Young man from Georgia, another man from Georgia go toe-to-toe. It's Drew, it's Hayward. Of course, it's the Braves and the Diamondbacks. Braves looking to even this series up, and a big insurance run against Juan Gutierrez, who unfortunately has another outing in which he allows an earned run. I'm sure he's kicking himself because this time it wasn't being battered around. It was a bout with wildness. As you said, a pitch that was nowhere close, just overthrew against Chipper Jones.
Yeah, went to the screen. One pitch later, you get the out. So he'll be kicking himself, I'm sure, the rest of the night over that one is Billy Wagner. Well, when you talk about one of the best in the business, still one of the best in the business, a hard-throwing lefty.
And he fires strike one at 95 miles an hour.
Well, Bobby Cox has got three nasty lefties he can go to.
Billy Roxon fires with a slider. You know, Wagner, early in his career, had a bout where he struggled with wildness, blown saves. It was in the year 2000. He certainly bounced back from it, as that one is in.
Yeah, 10 years later, he's still saving ball games.
Isn't it great? I mean, what a great story. Obviously, his childhood and where he's come from is a great story. But had that arm rebuilt recently and has come all the way back again. He says this is his last year. Fastball, blazer, 2-2 the count. Last year made it all the way back from that Tommy John surgery. Had a 1.98 ERA in Boston in 15 appearances. This year a 1.61 ERA. As he spikes that one in there. 3-2 the count. Remember, a couple of years ago, Mark Reynolds tied a ball game up in Shea Stadium late in the game against Billy Wagner. A game that the Mets would win in extras, but it was memorable to say the least.
Need a base runner. You got it.
You got your base runner. Mark Reynolds, as you said, gets it going. Now, in these Diamondbacks, a lot of them the same hitters, certainly. Their last 4 outings that they have seen Wagner, Billy has given up in 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, and 4 extra base hits. So they have solved him. Last couple of times they have seen him, wearing different uniforms, certainly. Fastball up and away. 394 career saves.
Yes.
1-1 the count. Rusty Ryle, who picked up a base hit against Wagner last night, waits on deck. And Ryan Roberts waits as well. Up and away, 2-1 the count. Chris Young 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and a strikeout in his career against Wagner. What do you do with that one?
Take it for strike 2 and hope he makes a mistake with the next one.
Grounded out, struck out, walked, and scored. A stolen base as well.
Perfect.
Strike 3 over the inside corner. 96 miles an hour.
Kind of reminds you of Randy Johnson, doesn't it? That fastball to the inside part of the strike zone to a right-handed hitter. You see a lot of lefty or right-handed hitters jackknife away from that pitch. But at the end of the day, you look at it, it shaves that inside corner. It's a strike. Perfectly hit McCann's mitt. 1 away. And then you go to the knees on the outside corner.
Phone ringing again down there.
In case Rusty Ryle runs into one, you're going to need a pitcher for the top of the next inning. Gas, my goodness. So Billy Wagner's going to take it on home after this year, huh?
I think we need to get to the bottom of that. You'll hear from Billy tomorrow. We'll have a conversation with him.
Looking forward to that.
Share that with you. Some thoughts throughout the game. High fly ball into right center field. It's Shella. And there to haul it in is Melky Cabrera. 2 outs. 7-5. The Braves lead it. Our APS All-Star. Certainly tonight you're talking about Omar Infante. Pitch him up, pitch him out of the strike zone, the better he gets, and certainly tip of the cap to that young man. 3 for 5, 3 singles, an RBI, and a run score. So here's Ryan Roberts. Roberts has never faced in the big leagues anyway, Billy Wagner.
He's going to see some hard fastballs.
Runner was moving. It's a fly ball to right. Hayward is over, under, out, and the Atlanta Braves are victorious. Game 2 of this series moves it to 1 win apiece. 1 win last night for the Diamondbacks, tonight for the Atlanta Braves as they score a single run in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th and beat the Diamondbacks by a score of 7-5. Wagner locks down another one. To the postgame show we go right now.
This one, frankly, had a little bit of everything. Some very good, some not so good, some bad, and